Hello, everyone. So today we're announcing version 0.9.19. It's a major release because one of our roadmap items has been closed and deployed as part of this release. Let's start with heading over to the release on our hub. By the way, we have a new hub for all of the product stuff. So if you head over to hub.openframe.ai, you'll find it's things that we already have. We just consolidated everything under place. So let's start. So the major two things in this release are Mingo AI, expanded capabilities, and custom PSA stages. Let's start with actually something that is here, but it's not marked as the one of the highlights. It's the doctor mode that we added. So if I'll head over to my dashboard and to a device, if I'll copy this command, and let me open terminal screen. Then go to the terminal. I'm just going to paste this command here. And then instead of the installation parameters and all this type of stuff, I'm just going to delete all of it. Oh, sorry, I copied the Windows. That's the Mac. Just going to delete all of it. And instead of the word install, I'm going to use the word doctor. And my password. And that's kind of validates that everything on this device is in place in order for our OpenFrame client to run properly. That's intended to help with initial deployments. We saw that many times there are issues on the endpoint, for example, antivirus blocking us or things like that. So we added this doctor mode in order to make sure that everything runs properly. Now let's head over to the second thing that we added. So if we'll head over to the tickets, you'll see that you have here edit statuses button. And now you have kind of the FAE, AI assistant stage. And then if any requirement to approve anything from FAE arrives, or if the user is asking for technician involvement, it will move to tech required. And then we have statuses that we can customize, so we can add everything here, set the color, and then we have resolved and archived. These 4 stages are reserved stages, and the rest is whatever you feel like. You can change the color, you can pick from here, and then this is going to get updated. We also updated the main screen. So here, instead of what you saw before, you have very easy access to anything that is tech required. So you can see it here. We still have the old view, but I think this view is nicer. Like you can see exactly what's pending. Now let's move to the major thing that we did on this release, which is Mingo capabilities. So first, let's ask Mingo, what are your capabilities summarized into a table? We also added partial thinking, so you can see that some things are faster because, for example, this thing, like Mingo doesn't really have a lot of things to think about. Like most of the time when he thinks about things, it's like complicated things that involves multi-databases or multi-tools or things like that. But here we don't really have it. So he just spit out everything that he can do. And you can see that there's a bunch of stuff that were added. So let's start with infrastructure management. So we used to have issues with querying devices, querying organizations, customers' devices or customers' tickets. Now, pretty much everything is available, including third-party integrated tools. For example, OS Query, which was already added previously, but right now it's working much better. We also added automation and scheduling. So now you can add. So now Mingo can write scripts into our scripting library. He can write script schedules. He can edit scripts. He can list scripts. He can do pretty much anything that you guys can do manually, he can do it with his own bundled capabilities, compliance and policy. So we have already in the product OS query and policy enforcement by OS query and by Fleet MDM. Now you can ask Mingo to do stuff like, please create a policy to verify that we're comply with CMMC or whatever compliance regulations you guys have it. He's just going to go online, figure out what's necessary, and then write back the policies. Ticketing, it can close open tickets. Now Faye can also close its own tickets. So if a user asks Faye to close the ticket, she can do that. Also, Mingo can do that. So if Mingo wants to close bulk tickets or create this type of stuff, you can also do that. Write knowledge management and knowledge base articles. So if you have a ticket and you want to create a knowledge base article from that ticket, or if there is a policy and you want to create a knowledge base article from that policy in order for other technicians to understand what's going on there, Mingo can do everything pretty quick, I have to say. Research, yeah, we added the web search as a separate capability. We figured out that the CLUD embedded research capabilities and web search capabilities are a bit expensive when it comes to token consumption. So we created our own. But let's start with kind of like list of existing scripts. Oh, he was even nice enough to kind of categorize them. By the way, we're gonna move Mingo away from this screen. He's gonna be always on the right, and he's gonna be floating around all of your screens. So if you're in a device, for example, and you wanna refer Mingo to that device or execute a script on this device or do whatever, pull a file, whatever you want to do, you will just gonna be able to do it directly from here. For example, this is a long process session. We will enable background mode of Mingo, so you can just gonna be able to run multiple Mingo sessions and just at the same time in parallel. Okay, so he highlighted all the scripts, but let's just tell him I want a script to make sure to enforce password length of at least 12 cars. I want it to run every day at midnight UTC. So now problem thinking is going to be a bit more extensive because there are a few stages. So you see right now he's creating the script. By the way, it's also good practice. Yeah, so he's asking our approval to create a script. Script was created. Nice, and we're gonna check out afterwards that the script was created, create a daily schedule, approved, and that's it. Now, if you want to run kind of like inline things that will execute the script against a certain device, and if anything breaks against this device, it will fix the script automatically. He can obviously do that. I have few sessions here before that I created. For example, here Mingo, I asked Mingo to create policies that will be equivalent to an EDR. So obviously it's not full-fledged EDR at the moment, but with all the capabilities that we added, we definitely look forward and having it. Let's go and check the script that we added. So first the script schedule, daily Slack deployment, daily password length. So you see that here, here's the script. And here's the script that it created. See that it will, and you can edit the script on your own. You can afterwards save the script, etc. Let's ask Mingo. Let's go back to Mingo and ask him please create a knowledge base article for this recent schedule we just added. You see that it's also pretty fast. We added a lot of okay. We added a lot of things around optimization of memory, and we're going to add more. We're also adding enhancements to context. Okay, this was done. Let's add knowledge management, and here is our draft knowledge management article. It even went inside of the script and figured out exactly what's going on there. So if there is any other technician that wants to figure out what's going on, he will be able to do it here. I'm going to just go ahead and publish it, and that's it. We have the new knowledge management article. So the possibilities of what we can do with Mingo at the moment are kind of limitless. We're going to add more things. Kind of next quarter, big thing is to add integrations into Office 365 and Google Workspace. Once we're going to add that, Mingo will have the ability to write configurations. So even things like email security and DLP will be able to catch on the Office 365 and on Google Workspace, all based off AI, and we will be able to ingest the logs. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the capabilities of what we're going to have pretty soon. We are working pretty hard. I'm going to show now what we're working towards the end of the quarter. Right. Here it is. So development roadmap. So we are on schedule to deploy everything that you see here. So Mingo sidebar, we're building our own RMM. So we're gonna stop working with tactical. Customized pay, notifications. Next quarter, we're also gonna have, not at the end of Q2, but Q3, we're gonna have desktop app and mobile app. So mobile app for the MSP, so you guys will be able to approve face stuff directly from your phone. Time tracking, this is almost done. New onboarding, and we're building out a support center inside the product, so you will be able to open tickets with us, and also have Mingo in guide mode, meaning that you will be able to ask Mingo things about the product or about releases or about how tickets are going. That's pretty much it. So expect more releases coming up soon. Thank you so much, and as usual, feel free to join Open MSP community or communicate with us directly through the chat on the product. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend. Bye.